Hey, what's up and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how you can record your guitar playing with your computer. I'm going to show you how to set up your hardware and your software. Be sure to stick around to the end and then I will show you how you can use these recordings to improve your guitar practice. So let's get started. So the first thing you need for hardware is an audio interface. This basically works as an external sound card for your computer, so you can directly plug in your guitar into this device, connect it via USB to computer and record everything you do. There are a lot of other devices you can use. Some amps have an USB output you can connect to your computer, but I found that an interface, this one is from Focusrite, is usually the best workaround. In my version, the Scarlett 2i2, you got two inputs for either an XLR cable for a mic or a line cable for an instrument. You got a headphone output, and on the back you got two speaker outputs and the USB connection. What you also might want to have is a good set of headphones, because then you can hear directly what are you recording, hear every tiny mistake, and it's also great if you're practicing maybe late at night and don't want to disturb any other people living in your apartment or in your house. And as a general output, I would recommend some speakers or monitors so you can directly hear what sound you're making. Once you have everything connected, it should look something like this. So you have your guitar, your keyboard or your mic or whatever you want to use, what has a direct output or a sound output plugged into your interface. You have the interface plugged into your computer, and now you need to set up the interface for your computer. So for that part, you go into your audio settings and be sure to check that the export or audio out is your device and that the import, the mic, is also set up to your device. So now that we got our interface all set up, it's time to find a software which we can use to record our guitar playing. I'm going to show you the software I'm using. This is Reaper. It's a pretty cheap software, so it's easy, affordable, has a great community, lots of plugins for free. But there are a lot of other different digital audio workstations, short DAW, which you can use. For example, if you buy the Scarlett Focusrite, then a version of Ableton comes with it, which you can use. But I'm preferring Reaper, so we are going to use that. After we installed our audio interface, we should see the audio interface showing up here in the audio device. So if we click on it, it will show us the audio system. So it's not the Windows sound, it's the Azure one, and it's the Focusrite device. Now, next thing we're going to do is hook up our guitar and test for the audio levels. What we are going to do is putting up a track in Reaper. Select our input device. We can see now in our interface, this is the input number 2. So we have an input. And what we are going to do next, you pull up the guitar to full volume. And then you slowly increase the input gain. So when it's fully glowing green, then you have a nice input. Be sure to check with the audio levels in Reaper. So if you see they're hitting the peak point, then it's too much and you just reduce some of the gain. Now we got our guitar and our input all set up, but there's still something missing. You need a kind of amp simulator so that you can choose different metal sounds, rock sounds, blues sounds or whatever. If you don't have an output jack of your amp where you can directly copy that sound. So we're taking an amp simulator for Reaper or any other DAW. You find a lot of plugins with a guitar simulator, some for free, for some you have to pay. In my case, I chose TuneTracks, EZMix, and I'm going to show you how this works. So you got a lot of different presets for different instruments. I chose guitar, metal sound, and I'm taking the 51 VH. Let's see how that sounds. And this is an amp simulator you can use, and the good thing about an amp simulator is that you can modify the tone after your recording. So if you have a really great riff, say okay, I want to have it with more distortion or with a bit of delay or reverb or whatever. You don't have to record the riff again. You can just choose different amp settings because it recorded the flat line from the guitar, and you can just put the different amp settings above this. Now, to record yourself on video, it's much more easier than all the audio setup I showed you before, because basically all you need is your own mobile device. Put it up somewhere, maybe you have a gimbal or a stand where you can put your mobile phone, and then you just hit the record button. Be sure that the mic is free so that you can hear everything, and make sure that you record as much of yourself as you can do. If you're just sitting down and practicing, then it's easier to focus on the guitar. But if you're standing up, then just see to it that you record your full body. So by now, some of you may have the question, okay, I get the record your audio part, but why should I record myself on video? I don't want to be on YouTube or share this video with anyone. So why should I embarrass myself? There's one simple point to that. When you record your audio, you will hear your mistakes, but with recording your video, you can see the mistakes you're making as well. That's for the whole practice part. And if you want to be maybe a musician, you want to be on stage, you want to play with a band, then it's easy to get focused so much on your guitar and ignoring all the rest. And then you're making these weird guitar faces, or you're standing just there boring like and looking down on your guitar. So you can practice on your stage presence with the video. So you can see, okay, how do I look while I play guitar? This can help you improve when you want to be on stage. But now I want to show you how you can combine your audio file and the video file and to make the perfect practice video for yourself. So we got our audio recording, we got a video recording, and now we put that together. I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro, but you can do this with any other video cutting software, even with the Windows Movie Maker as well. I got two files here which I want to use. The first one is the recording out of my mobile phone. I put that in here. And the second one is the audio part, the recording session. I want to put that down here. And what you can see when we get a bit closer is that they're basically are looking the same. We want to have the audio from our recording session and the video from our video session, because otherwise this would sound like this. But we want to have it sound like this. And to do that, we just mark all the parts, go into a synchronize option. So now it's going to synchronize the video via the audio. We are still muting our video audio and using the recording part. Now let's hear how that sounds. Everything you need to do now is just cutting the edges so you have a perfect recorded file of yourself playing the guitar, hearing it and seeing it. And if you have a good video quality, like you're shooting in 4K when you have a good camera, obviously I didn't choose the 4K option with my mobile device, even though it's capable of it, so my bad. But if you're doing this, then you can zoom or increase a specific part and see what are your fingers doing. Do you have problems finding your finger position on the fretboard? So you can see where the problem actually is. So last but not least, I promised you for the end that I will show you how you can use your recordings to improve your practice. The first thing I told you already in the video, it's easy to find your mistakes or see the mistakes and improve them for your next practice session. But what you can also do is find the things that worked pretty well. So let's say you're practicing scales over a backing track and then suddenly your fingers do something great and you have a really great lick or riff and you say, wow, that was nice. Would be a shame if you didn't have a recording of it and wouldn't remember it for the next part. So, but if you have a recording, even with a video, so you can see actually where you are at the fretboard, then you can use this and say, wow, this is a riff I made, perfect. You can save it for later, or you can use it in another song if you want to. And to organize all the things you're recording, you need to be a bit more critical. So for example, if you're just playing around and playing scales and just chords, watch the video, see where did you perform well, where did you perform not so well. And if you identify the mistakes and you could actually improve from them, then delete the video. You will need the space on your hard drive, so you don't need to keep that forever. Except if you want to make maybe a YouTube video later on from your 1-year progress. But if you're keeping the stuff, then you should organize it so that it's easy for you to find the things that you said were worth saving. I'm taking now an example of one of the songs I made with my band. We tried out different licks and riffs, and what you can do in your audio software is set markers. So let's say you're playing for an hour and you know that the part where you practice your scales was at 35 minutes and there you had a really great riff. So you can mark that in your recording. There was the riff. You can delete all the pauses where you didn't play but the recording went on. You can delete every total screw-ups where you had to start all over, so that you just keep the best or the worst parts in your recording to remember what to look for next time. And the next thing you should do is find a file system for you that works. So what I'm doing is I'm naming my files all after the date where I recorded them. Sometimes I put some text files in the file. So I say, okay, there was, let's say, an A minor backing track and I played the scale, or I played some chords, or I tried this song and practiced with it. Or you can put even tags in the file itself if you know how to do that. So it's easier to find when you search in your file directory. So, and that's it. I showed you how to set up your hardware for recording yourself. I showed you how to set up the software for recording yourself, how to put video and audio files together in a really short and easy way, and how you can use these recordings to improvise your guitar practice. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. And if you have any comments or questions regarding recording yourself on the computer, just put them down in the comments, and I hope to see you next time.